Hello, everybody. Welcome to a critically average adventure, and welcome to the Fragments. It is a D&D campaign that I'm playing with my friends, and these are my friends. Woo! Yes, when we had last had an adventure with all of these players here, and all of the characters which represent them within the world of D&D upon the planet of Earl, which is a thing that had fallen out of my brain. You had just received a severe beating at the hands of some things made of boulders and rocks.
You say we'd fall.
Well, some of you got a worse beating than others, and you nearly all died if there hadn't been a couple of handy little Charlie Irwin moments. Actually, Charlie Irwin was quite heroic and rescued Jax, and also did some serious damage to these rocky beasts. And eventually the room was left silent, and piles of rubble were undisturbed, and you proceeded through the room with your little blue friend named Jim, and you had emerged into a room through a trap door. And as you walked in, because nobody was being at all stealthy or at all looking or at all looking about the place, halbards were pointed at all of your necks. And that is where we shall join the game. You are all on the verge of having your throats slit. There are a selection of large weapons at your necks. Who's got Jim?
I've been dragging the rope along.
Yeah.
Can I see who's holding the halberd?
It's dark at first. You're from the kind of rough flame light that was light in the room beforehand, and before that the kind of icy blue light that had come through from the refraction of light from the ice bridge that you were traveling within. Mm-hmm. So the light in here is very dull, but these weapons are the glint on them is well polished. They're well honed. Make a perception check, Jack.
A perception check?
Yeah.
I'm not that fussed because my next plan is to do something else completely different. Yeah. Well, 16, so 17.
17. You recognise the tip of these blades quite quickly. You've seen them and you've fought against someone who used to hold one.
And my next thing to do is I'm going to sit there and look off into the darkness to the body that was sort of holding the thingy and sort of growl at them because I've had a very bad day so far. If you want to keep your hand, get that away from my neck. And I would like to intimidate them.
Let's have an intimidation roll then. That's lovely job. That sounds like a very, very awesome.
Yeah, I rolled a 4 and an 8, so 10.
Oh, okay. They aren't intimidated in the slightest.
What about Killian? Will Killian intimidate them?
Well, Killian, what is Killian doing?
Getting the dogs to clear up biscuit. 1 second.
There is.
I'm just kind of glaring around at them.
Okay, Serial, you have dark vision.
Mm-hmm.
I think
Dark vision, don't we?
Yeah, wrong. I'm thinking of a different game. You've all got pretty good dark vision, so you'd be starting to make out the figures as. No, you don't. Killian doesn't. Serial does.
Yeah, I do.
Jax does. And I don't think Charlie does. Does Cockroach have dark vision?
Bad boys.
I don't think they do. However, Serial and Jax, as your eyes kind of adjust, you start seeing the uniforms of the town guard.
Town guard?
Yeah.
The ones we are friends with?
Yes.
I be like, guys, it's us.
You don't recognise the people that are immediately around you. You don't, Serial. Jax, you do.
Okay. Is Carl up here?
You can't see him right now, but you recognise a couple of the fellows from the bar
Okay.
where you're buying drinks.
Do I recognise him as well then?
Yeah, but you can't see the dock, so.
So Jackson, I think you better like remind them that you're their mate.
But you don't know this, Ariel. You're just being threatened with hellbars at your throat.
What? Don't I recognise that they're the town guard?
You recognise their town guard, yeah.
Yeah, but you didn't have a party with them. You didn't take them to the bar.
I didn't get them completely. You didn't get them completely rat-ass last night.
No. No.
Look, I'm not in the mood for this shit. I've just been beaten to pulp by some fucking stone things down there. Are you this guy's employer?
What guy's employer? What are you on about?
I'm going to point at our blue friend.
Oh, like he's kind of down the trap, so you'd have to kind of
Oh, okay. I'll
pull him up on the end of the
Pull
road.
him in.
Like, Jim, what are you doing back so early? Carly, Jim's back. They bellow into the darkness, and you hear footsteps approach.
Have the halberds moved in any way, shape, or form?
They are still brandished, but as Carleth walks in, he's like, Jax? He's holding there a torch. You're kind of backlit from the glow behind, but he comes with a torch. Now you see that it's the rest of the people. And there's a flaming torch, and Charlie, oh, these are you fought. This is the Jesus Christ.
Get a biscuit
She's
everywhere.
trying to eat a biscuit, and it's the most disgusting thing I've ever seen in my life. From I've witnessed.
Don't dip it, Bean. Don't dip it. It's all going wrong.
And then they're like, there's this kind of strange, like, truce, like not a truce, but like everything's on a knife edge right now.
Literally.
You're not sure what's happening. The blades are glinting in this flickering light. Jim's glancing from person to person. You're looking at the blades. The blades are on your throat. Or as they,
Could I just put like a claw on one of the blades and just like push it down?
it's resisted.
And I glare at them and then go to push it down.
You trying to intimidate?
Yeah.
Go on then. Go away, Popeye.
Popeye, go away.
Well, if you stop throwing things everywhere, he might.
Yeah, stop feeding the dogs biscuits and they'll go away.
I'm not intending to.
No, it's just managing to project biscuit further than most people can project their voice.
12.
12.
You did better than my 10.
So it's a kind of a truce at this point. They're still glaring at you.
I keep disappearing off screen. I do apologise.
Bean, I can't hear you when you sit back. We can't hear you at all. You're going to have to keep sitting forward.
Just project your voice.
I'm really sleepy. I've barely got a voice to project. Almost a
We'll get closer to the screen then.
Get closer. Move closer.
Is this close to me?
That's too close.
Okay, so there's like a truce at the minute, but we've still got them to our.
But it's not a truce. It's like this kind of uneasy tension that's in the air.
Standoff.
Like
Standoff.
yeah, like a standoff. Yeah.
Okay, so
yeah.
they've still
How
got.
high is this room?
Sorry.
How high is this room?
This room doesn't look much like a room. As you look about,
You said it was the sort of the pillars of the underground thing.
this looks very much like the catacombs that you were in previously, but some other section of it.
Can I just turn around and say what is going on?
Please.
What is going on?
So did you hire
What
this
is going on?
individual?
Carla says, "What is going on? What are you doing here? What have you done to Jim? He doesn't look like the prince."
Well, he didn't act like the prince, and he set off all of our unsettledness as we were investigating the tower. Because the prince is into some really weird shit, and I'm apart from being a bit weird, he's probably either bumped off his dad or stuck him in a prison somewhere. I've spent the last 2 days trying to find you to find out what happened in the capital.
Well, we've been planning
Planning what?
this incursion.
To do what?
We knew the prince would be away. We have people inside on the inside, hence, like me.
Yeah.
But I wasn't due to be on shift deliberately. I've been planning with some fellow loyal to the king knights to try and get him back, to try and get him, see what's going on, try and stop his son.
Stop him from doing what?
We don't know what he's doing. We know he messes with magic. He's got all those books.
And planes and shit. We're pretty
Yeah,
sure he's gone into one.
Yeah, he's a bit weird.
Is he? I haven't noticed.
Thank you.
I noticed. I've been calling him a bit weird for like forever.
He's like, we were knights of the king, not of this pup. But he knew we were the most elite guard, so he brought us here to defend him. And for a time, we were loyal to him, and but we don't know what happened, why he's the regent now, and what the advisors advised. They wouldn't tell us anything, why he was away, and then those advisors, we don't know where they are, and now it's just the regent, and he's powerful now.
Well, yeah, it didn't work quite as well. Thulf knows about your blue friend here, as do some of the other guards in the tower. They know about
Thulf knows. That drow bastard.
that. What?
That drow bastard.
So,
there are guards on the other end of this tunnel now.
Okay.
And they know that we've come in here looking to find out what's going on.
We do, and I don't. And they look. So it's like, put your weapons down. So the guys around the halberds are lowered, but like still braced. He says, "Do we know who's on tower duty? No one goes in the tower. There are people in the Prince Regent side of the tower.
Yeah.
He doesn't allow guards there, so he hasn't come back. Did Thulf call them?
We did.
They came. It's a good chance that they're with us, because they wouldn't have come if they knew Thulf was there. But they would have known that we were planning this.
Right.
So they
So-
would have wanted to protect Jim,
So what was it that you were trying to get Jim to do?
trying to find out what the prince is doing, what's happened to his father.
Well, he's playing with magic stuff that he doesn't seem to understand, doesn't seem to comprehend, and he's decided that you guys are going to sort of fight battles in other realms and steal the wealth from it so he can bring them back here.
Other realms.
Yeah.
Mm.
I ain't going to.
Like where demons and shit come from.
He's been playing with
Nice.
portals.
I certainly ain't going to go and fight demons. We need to put an end to this madness.
Well, there's a fair chance he's in another realm at the moment on his own that he ain't coming back.
We think we know which realm he's gone to, and it's not a good one.
On his own in another realm. Why would he do that?
Because he's an
It's a bit
idiot.
weird,
A
isn't it?
bit weird.
Because he thinks he's invincible with the problem.
He is an incredibly entitled individual who doesn't seem to be fit to rule. And apparently your place here doesn't have the ability to sort of, get rid of him and put someone else in charge.
I'm with Jax. I think you guys should just have a battle to see who's in charge. Right. I'm with Jax on that one.
They're like the royal blood. There'll be uproar. Uproar? There'll be an uproar.
Outcry.
An outrage is what I was trying to say. So
Oh.
there'll be outrage.
You guys are his guards, and you sort of sit there. When he turns back up, clock him on the back of the head with a big clubby thing, put a bag over his head, stick him in the deepest, darkest hole you can, and Jim gets to be your king, your prince, whatever. No one knows.
But you said he wasn't very convincing, Jim. They look at Jim. Jim's like, "Look, I tried my best. I've never met the guy. I've seen him from afar. I can make myself look like him." And he turns into the prince. I make myself look like you. Turns into Carlo. I look like you. Turns into Jack. So like, easy. I can't act like him
Why not?
Could I lean
because
in?
I'm me inside.
Could I lean into Jim and go, he's quite easy, just hit shit. Like while he's Jax, just hit shit.
It's like I can do that, but I don't know where he's come from. I'm not an actor. I was just born like this. I'm not even a bard. Can't play a note. Can't sing. Can't act. Just so happens I can do this. And he turns into Pelf. So he's like,
Okay, but when you're in charge and you sort of start issuing commands, if you didn't happen to have bumped into us first, you might have had a sort of a better chance. If you turn up with a load of royal guards that do exactly what you say, people are probably going to believe it more. And
you're
like,
right.
a weird mind ready thing on the prince when you've got him with a bag on his head.
You're right. He's right, says Carlo. Jim, I think I've got a plan. Jax, can we trust you? Can we trust all of you?
Depends what you're doing. If it's to get rid of weirdo, yeah.
We want to remove him from power.
Yeah, I'm in.
We know there's one sure way of doing this.
Please let Jax hit him. Please. He's been dying to do it since he got here.
That might come when he's returned to us from wherever you say he's gone. One sure way of denouncing his power is to return the king to the throne.
Well, that was where we were going to be headed next, but we're kind of waiting to be paid for saving the town at the moment.
If the prince ain't coming back, no way Tholf can sort out that kind of money.
Apparently he can.
Be in the royal treasury.
And who's in charge of the royal treasury? The royal guards.
Regent or the king.
Yeah. And who guards it? Who guards it from everyone else?
We do, but we don't have the keys.
Can Jim turn into the king?
No, I've never seen the king.
I thought you worked with him.
Jim didn't.
No, Carlos.
Carlos did, yeah.
Okay, it was Jim that said he's never seen the king.
Yeah, Jim says he can't. He's never seen the king, so he can't.
So he can't turn into it because he's never seen him.
Look, can we trust you?
Well, I'm.
Will
all
you
for-
help us? We can. We want to get to Modern Cell. We want to get into the tower at Modern Cell. But there are only a few of us that are loyal to the king. The rest are in that level of fear of repercussions from their employer.
Mhm.
They're royal duty bound. And they are, for all their foolishness, truly royalists. So they will stay with the prince. We can hold them off here. We can distract them here, maybe, or even at the gates of Mordensow, because there's some set to guard even there. We can get you to the bridge. We can get you traveling with Jim, maybe, or with Jim's help.
But you needed Jim to be the prince.
Exactly what I mean. When the prince left, where did he leave and go?
He went to a portal to which we think is the fair world.
No.
Yeah, but where?
You
Where
said-
here? Where
you
on this
said,
plane?
A grave.
You didn't. It wasn't the Feywild. You said it was. It was.
Shadow.
Shadow fell.
Shadow Realm. Sorry, Shadow Realm it was.
Shadowfell. Yeah.
But where here? What location
Where's the
was
portal? So the portal is it. What
Okay,
was the
can
name
we
of the
trust you?
house?
Can we trust you?
just us? With what? Your lives?
Well, we may have sort of made agreements with other people as well, and we may have secrets that they may need to help.
He says, yeah. Insight.
Insight.
Dead. Okay.
5.
You're convinced that he would keep his promise. He would keep a secret.
So there is a ruined manor house up on the sort of the hills over the city.
Yeah, I know of the one.
Brantifax Manor. One of the graves leads to a portal. I don't know. Last time we went through one, it was in the hollowed out tree stump.
I've heard of stuff like that in the forests. Try and stay clear of them yourself.
Me too. But someone keeps trying to drag us through them.
Portals. I'm an elf. What can I say? I'm attracted to the magic.
They look at you and say, I've heard that too. That some of the elves are drawn to the ways of the mystic things. Myself, I trust more a piece of steel in my hand and plate to keep me safe. Look, what if we pretended like we were escorting the prince back to the castle? We have Jim be the prince.
Mm-hmm.
We say he's very tired. We get him to the tower. We tuck him up in bed.
You'd have to make sure that the prince hadn't already returned to the tower. So you'd have to send somebody ahead.
And when you go ahead, scout it out. or go back?
It's not exactly the safest route going down these tunnels.
No, we'd heard they were protected.
How did you get down
To hear, easy to hear. You're on this bit. Dangerous.
They're less protected now.
Well, we should set a guard then. Here.
There's one on the other side.
But we don't know if they're with us.
it? But how weird is it going to look if only us three and Jim went down, and the prince and a whole load of guards return?
I don't mean go back that way. I mean go back this way. These tunnels come out in the city. You said the prince went outside the city.
Yeah.
If we kind of sneak him back into the city, or him as the prince in the city, walk him to the gates.
Way then Wolf didn't think he went to the Brantifax Manor. He thought he went somewhere else.
Okay.
I don't remember where he thought he'd gone, but he definitely thought he was going a different direction.
Huh. Not like Phil did it wrong.
But we saw him go in the tunnel, didn't we? Or the something else saw him go in the tunnel. In the grave.
No one saw him go.
We just think it was him.
And we just saw the portal. We didn't see.
Look, the guys told you.
Yeah. But we didn't see.
Didn't the Raven guy tell us that it was him that had gone in?
Nope.
What Raven guy? And I'm going to sort of tap my belt, Miss Ash.
The guys are like looking at you like, look, all this speak of portals and stuff, it's beyond my knowing. But it sounds like something that the Prince Regent would be into. Now, what I suggest is that we keep everything looking as normal as we can here. If a load of us Royal Guard go running off across the bridge to Mordensow, alarm bells are going to start ringing.
Carlith, you're familiar with the king, right?
Yes, I know what he looks like. I was his guard.
Yeah. So, do you reckon if you come on shift at the castle and Serial takes you to the magic room with the gemmy thing, that you could see if you can find the king?
Gemmy thing?
Yeah.
What is he on about? Gems, portals? This is too much for me. What are you suggesting?
I don't know where Jackson's going with this one.
Well, the gem thing you were saying that you could see places distant away.
Yeah.
Wallace uses it. Can he try and see if he can see the king? Because he's either going to see a pile of bones or a grave somewhere, or some guy that's trussed up in a cell somewhere, or whatever.
It doesn't really work like that. We just get glimpses into other realms. We can't necessarily look for somebody, otherwise I would have already done it. You just sort of get, it's like little snippets, like little trailers into other worlds. It's not like that you to search for the king.
Well, you said you can control it.
I can control myself while I'm in it. It's not like a dream, and
the second time you went in it, you had more control. The first time you were on like a roller coaster type of situation. Second time
that was more about where I was going, but I wouldn't know how to search for the king in it, would I? I don't really understand how it works.
Arcana?
Have you had a really have you had a good chance to have like a thorough look at it and a thorough investigation of it and try and figure it out?
No.
Why don't
You
you
want
do
me-
that?
I could do that. I can go back and try and investigate it with the Arcanas and investigate and see if I can work out if I can use it to find the king.
Out of character as non-Jax, what I'm kind of suggesting is, like, if it's a magic orb of seeing stuff, that would suggest it might have some degree of association with scrying, which is exactly what you can do to find someone you are familiar with.
What's scrying?
There
It's
is a spell called scrying.
Okay.
which allows you
allows
to view on people.
Yeah, to basically find someone within 1,000 feet, I believe.
No, it's no range
Oh,
at
it's
all.
everywhere, isn't it? There's
They
no
have
one-
to be on the same plane.
Am I high enough level to be able to do a scrying spell?
No. It's about a 5th level spell, I think.
You would be able to use an object probably to cast it, maybe, or to utilize a tool to look through. So it wouldn't be using necessarily
ability,
your
it would be using-
arcana. It would be the tool that is imbibed with the magic to do the scrying.
Right. So how does that work? So I use Arcana within the.
You probably need to go make an arcana check on the object, which
Okay.
you never did. You made an arcana check of the rooms.
I did make an Arcana check of the actual object. Right. Okay. All right. That sounds like a plan. Then I can go and do that.
Now you've got to discuss how you get back to the city. You're in the city. Sorry, how you get back to the tower?
Well, so the guard's going to go in. The guards are going to go back with Jim, and Jim is going to be the prince, and they're going to pretend like they're escorting him back in from outside back into the tower, and they're going to tuck him up. We need to just be going in the opposite direction, because last time anybody saw us, we were going out into the out of the city, weren't we?
You
No,
were
we
going
went down
under
into
the ice
under
bridge
the tower.
at the bottom of the tower.
So why
Right.
don't
So we need to come back up the same way we came.
Yeah. So I send them the way that they came in, which leads to the tower, and we go back up the tower. Yeah.
You remember the perilous pits.
Oh, and the slope. Oh, and the slope. It's gone die.
The slope should actually be easier going the other way.
Sorry.
Slope should be easier going the other way. We have ice spikes and war picks.
Yeah, but we've still got that stupid great big pit to get through, and if any of the rock monsters come back
Charlie
with a
says,
vengeance.
what is the harm in us coming out in the city? We have followed the tunnels. We were asked to investigate where they lead with this small blue fellow. Sorry, Jim, was it? We come up in the city. We say we came out through at the bottom of some tavern. Do the tunnels come out in different places? Do they interlink?
We can find a sewer link that will just take us back into a street. That's fine.
Yeah.
We come up.
So we can just say we investigated, and at some point we lost Jim. Jim escaped. Or
Unless it's he escaped in the battle with the rock things.
We can, whichever cover story you deem worthy. I'm not the one for lying much. I have an honest face.
Who's good at lying? Because that's not really me either.
I'll do the lying. I can lie.
You tell Thuff then. Whatever story you want to read. I suggest you don't go back that way. As much as I can fly the gap, I did not enjoy watching you tunnel.
No. I think you're right. I think we just come out a different way into the city. We're following. We're doing what we said we were going to do, which is follow the tunnels. We can explain about the pit and the rock monsters, and say in the struggle with the rock monsters, Jim escaped, and that when we managed to battle them and finish that battle, we followed a tunnel. When we came out, we found we came back out into the city. And then once we realised we were back in the city, we made our way back to the tower.
Yeah.
Yeah? That's the story I'm going to say to Felf if he asks.
Yeah.
Yeah?
then what
I
I
also
suggest,
tell Stolf that the stone things are gone, so there's no guards in the tunnel.
is that we come slightly after you. Do you remember the signal from the festival?
No.
When it was clear to go and start having an old.
There was some light flicking on the tower, wasn't there?
Can you do something like that?
Well,
Then we'll return with Jim as the prince.
Can I suggest you put Jim up in a pub looking like anyone? You come up to the tower on your shift, because what we're thinking isn't going to work, or if we get a better lead, we don't need to worry about sort of impersonating the prince and sort of whatever.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, if Jim is Jim. People don't mind Jim being Jim.
I think he's a bit an obvious blue person. He doesn't look exactly.
There's a couple of inns where blue people are common. Not this kind of blue person, but other blue people.
Well, bearing in mind, Dolph's seen him like that, and so have some of the other guards that you don't know if they're on your side. So I would suggest
See what you mean.
like sort of some random guy. We know this priesty guy that was on his way here. Like he could look like that or something.
You not met him.
He goes,
You have
Jim.
to have met him.
Jim, give us like commoner number 4. He turns into this kind of average peasant type person that could be on anyone on the street. How's that, Jax?
Well, then you can go and sit in an inn and out and drink some beer and, settle up with you guys, and you can see if you can get this magic stone thing working, and we can decide on action based on that, can't we?
We need to be able to give them a signal to say it's safe to come back in. We need a signal for just coming back in a gym as normal common gym, and we also need a second signal to message them to say come back, but as the prince.
Oh no, because we can wander in and out of the castle at will.
Oh, you saying we just go and find them?
So if you guys settle up in the in the gate's head, we can come down and have a beer and things, after dinner in the castle. We bring down platters of food.
All right. Okay, so we're going back. We're going to head with Gateshead. Jim, you're going to stay looking like this. You guys are going to go back and we're going to meet you at the tower, and I'm going to go and look at a crystal.
We'll meet you at the tower, and you can see if you can work out this magic thing. Well, between Serial and you, see if you can work out this magic thing to find out where the king is.
Okay.
Why does he need to be involved with that?
He's the one that knows what the king looks like. He's the one familiar with the king.
He doesn't want anything to do with the portal.
It's not a portal. It's a magic.
Not portal, the magic stone thing.
He doesn't understand it, certainly. He's a bit afraid, it seems, of the magics, maybe.
If you can drive it and he can tell it where to go, between you, we might find out where the king is.
I'm confused about how he would know where to go. He knows what the king looks like. He doesn't know where he is. Otherwise, we would have found him already.
I do know where he is. Well, I think I know where he is.
What, the king?
Yeah.
Oh.
In the tower at Morningside. That's what I'm saying.
That's where you think. Oh, okay. That's where you think he is. So you need to just direct me to the tower in Morningside, and then we're using the magic portal thing. And then.
Well, it's not what I was saying. I wasn't having anything to do with any magical portal or crystal balls or whatever it is you're looking to. I was saying we keep everything looking normal here. We install, with or without Jim, ourselves back on our normal duty, going about our regular business, whilst you guys go with our blessing to the tower. Now you know what we intend to do.
Uh-huh.
And find the king and help us dethrone this fool.
So basically I go alone to the stone room to use my arcana checks and my investigation checks to try and search out the tower at Molensal and see if I can see if the king's there.
Yeah, you've met the king before,
Yeah,
so you
Serial
know
has
what.
met the king.
So you
I
know
have
what it looks like.
Yeah.
Serial got a letter from the king.
He's my old friend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you.
We might not need Carla.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We don't need Carl. He can just carry on his business, but he knows we know what they're doing, and he knows what we're doing. But we're gonna basically facilitate each other. So there's going to be no
If
issues.
you'd excuse the pun, then we shall hold fort here, and you can
Make like a tree and leave.
possibly. Yeah, all right. Okay. I'm not on shift till tomorrow. We'll show you. If we all come pouring out of one place, people are going to talk.
Yeah. Just put us in the right direction, and we'll head on our way. There isn't any other pits or booby traps we need to be aware of before we come back out into the city, are there?
The sewers are a bit gross down there. Oh yeah, I'll give you the directions. Can you make an intelligence check, please, Sarah? Or a survival, as you're
Let's
trying
see which
to.
one I've got higher.
Oh, an intelligence first, please, and then.
I should say. I'm looking at the wrong thing. Intelligence. 18.
You received instruction from Colin from how to travel through these tunnels and take them on board very well. You think you have the map in your head. They recede into the darkness, but as they go,
Yeah, it's just class.
Gillian
Bear
and
with me.
Charlie, you are plunged into darkness. Cool.
Hasn't Jackson or me got a torch?
Charles actually shouts out, Carlia, my dragonborn friend here, and I are not blessed with the vision that Jackson and Sarah have been blessed with. Do you have a few spare torches that we can bother to guide our way through? He said, yeah, here you go. And hands you a burning torch.
Here we go. I can't get the app to reload. Hang on. I'm only going to skip an issue.
Okay. You are given a direction. It's roughly if your straight ahead was north, where you were proceeding before.
Yeah.
It's east.
East, right.
You must go first of all down a set of tunnels.
Okay.
The tunnels that you move through are damp with moisture, and they merge with the land here and there. There have been collapses and fallen rocks and masonry. They are these repeating archways over and over and over again.
So we're still going through the catacombs, yeah?
Yeah, that look identical, and you proceed east for several hundred meters. Then you look to your left and right. As you look right, you see a dead end wall, pretty much. That's the cliff face. To the north, east, and west, obviously, are continuing tunnels, all looking very similar, repeating tunnels off into almost your sort of vanishing point of vision. Can you make a survival check to see how well you navigate within these tunnels in the darkness and confusing
Certainly.
subterranean. Oh dear. Bad place.
I've got 7.
7. Okay.
It's not terrible, but it's not great.
It's quite a low number.
Mm.
You begin wandering, and you being given the instructions, you start searching around underneath these tunnels, and there is it opens up, and the terrain sort of changes a bit from being like some sort of just general basement type situation. You start seeing that there's more intricate carvings on the rocks, on the pillars, but again worn by water and time. But the pillars change in their format from being kind of just sort of straight sort of filigrees and stuff like that, practical supports, to being more. You can tell that these were decorative at one point.
Right.
And you proceed some way further, and can you make a perception check, Sarah, as you're leading the way?
Got us last.
26.
Ahead, you
With a natural 20.
That's natural 20 as well.
ahead you see that this part that you lead to are tunnels as you were in before, but every other one is blocked on the end.
Right.
So there's a tunnel, block, tunnel, block.
Yeah.
But that's several, that's sort of 50 meters ahead of you. You can see this.
Right.
50 feet, so that means.
So I can't remember. So we've gone a certain way, but I'm not entirely sure where we are now. Are you telling me?
No, but you see several tunnels in front of you.
Mm-hmm.
But they go on again, all the way to the left, all the way to the right.
Yeah.
You see the archways like this.
Yeah.
And then an archway the same either side, but those ones are blocked up.
Uh-huh.
And then either side of that there's a tunnel, and then the ones either side of that are blocked off. So it's like open, blocked, open, blocked, open, blocked, open, blocked.
How many open ones are there?
Lots.
In that case, we're just going to keep going straight.
Cool. You walk closer and you realise that where the blocked ones are, they're blocked, and there's shelves built in left and right. And on the shelves, there are tombs.
They're what?
Tombs.
Tombs.
There are coffins.
Right.
What?
Because we're in catacombs, basically.
Well, Serial made a pretty good intelligence check on understanding the instruction, but made a terribly poor survival check. So she was going to roll with disadvantage if she got poor on her intelligence check, but she didn't roll with disadvantage. She rolled just a very poor survival check about her mapping and travelling skills here. So you are now what appears to be in some sort of, like a tomb.
Have we seen a big sort of church or temple in the city?
Make a history check, I guess.
No, Jack special.
No, you don't remember seeing any particular. You would have seen some churches.
Well, remember the little church that Charlie had?
There was a little.
Yeah, Charlie went to a temple.
You went to some little
kind of
church in the
tiny little church. Yeah.
nowhere. Yeah. Okay. Are we lost, Ariel?
Maybe.
I am just at the top of my lungs going to just shout, "Hey, anybody out there?" and see if I can get the attention of any priesty type people or anyone who happens to be sort of looking after the catacombs or visiting people.
Do you know how funny that will be and how shit scared they're going to be that the dead have come back to life? Do it. Do it.
Oh, I just have.
Okay. You hear this echo off in all directions.
Okay.
Hey, 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 hey. Is anybody out there?
So once the
Out there, out there, out there.
are you done?
Yeah.
So once the echo stops, can I try and listen out to see if I hear anything or even like feel wind coming from anywhere or anything like
Of course
that?
you can. Make me a perception check.
It's just when I'm like, is it done? You know,
It was an awesome time to make some sort of weird echo Doppler effect thing going on. It was fun.
What'd you get? What'd you get?
Here's a natural 20.
21 with a natural 20.
See,
I told you it was because Pete lost the dice tray.
we found
Yeah.
it. Oh,
Yeah, we found it. We found it.
This is the one that she made that's got sort of a metallic, a sort of a magnetic base, right?
Yeah, that's the one.
It's that one.
You feel, because you're standing in a tunnel like this and then all the sides are blocked in, ahead is where any breath of air is coming from. You also hear a clicking sound.
A what sound?
A clicking sound.
Coming from straight ahead.
Yeah.
And that's where the wind's coming from.
Yeah.
Then go straight ahead then.
You don't know that.
Danny,
You
Charles,
gonna tell me as I'm leading the party?
Have I like checked all of the doorways then?
Basically, there's doorways going all the way along,
Yeah.
heading roughly in the same direction at this point. You are in just one of them. Imagine infinite lines like in front of you going left to right. You're in one of these set of shelves. A library of corpses, maybe.
Okay. I just start walking straight ahead then.
Okay. Killian without a sound starts trudging forwards and starts leading the party.
Yeah.
Not saying a word to Serial and starts proceeding.
I'll look grumpy and go, oh, so you're in charge now, are you? Fine. Fine. I won't. I've got instructions, but you know, you're in charge now.
Charles walks
I sort of shuffle to the back and sulk.
Charles kind of starts following up behind and sees this sulking and says, now come on, we know what he can be like. Come on. We don't want to get left behind.
Did anyone respond?
Sorry?
Did anyone respond?
To the echo? No, there's no reply of the shout.
As a shout.
You proceed for some time down these corridors, and you focusing on that sound that you heard, the clicking. You hear it louder.
Are there any labels on any of these, like sort of, you know, alcovey body things?
Oh, please make an investigation check.
Because I'm good at them too. Oh, 17.
You look down. There is writing on the tomb in common.
Okay, I speak that.
That is it is just a standard sort of
You like of the builder, you know.
It doesn't appear to be they arranged into families, where there are tombs, sort of slightly richer folks, possibly, but because they can afford to be put in a tomb rather than just stuck in a hole in the ground. But there's no direct lineage or anything that you can discern from this.
Okay. When we get to the next like sort of junction or turning or anything,
Yeah.
can I sort of look around the sort of the sort of the crossroad part
Yeah.
and just sort of see if there are any signs or arrows sort of saying exit this way type thing, sort of
Yeah.
hidden in
Of
it?
course. Yeah. You
That'd be too simple, surely.
would I have just put a sign in there saying this way out? Would I? You start proceeding, and there is the clicking sound is getting louder, and now you all hear a clicking sound.
What's the clicking
Okay.
sound half familiar? Do I know the
Is that what you were following, Killian?
You make a wisdom check, I guess, or a nature or wisdom, whichever you want.
I mean, is it a sort of a sort of a set time click, or is it a sort of, you know,
It's
Mechanical click?
non-rhythmic.
you what, sorry?
It's non-rhythmic.
Okay. Does it sound like sort of, you know, crustacean, crabby, clicky noise type things or something like that?
18?
It sounds like it sounds like a creature.
So we're going towards the monster. Oh, joy.
Sorry, guys. Do I know what creature?
Not just by hearing at this sort of
Okay.
range.
Can I start? Yeah, go on.
I was going to say, can I sort of explore and see if there's any tracks? Because if this place is a tunnel, then there's probably a fair amount of dust.
Yeah, go.
I would like to try and see what tracks I can find.
Survivor.
Yeah. I rolled a 17 again, so 21.
Oh,
You see in the ground, in the dust, coming to and from and all around the different layers of the shelves, dragging marks in the dust, sort of a shape of one fine thick line either side of the track, and then like a kind of swirly, like wiggly pattern in the middle of
like a snake.
like as if a snake
And for
kind of
front
thing.
legs. Okay. Can I suggest, if it is a beastie thing of some description, we set a trap for it?
That would only be helpful if the snake was behind us and we think the snake is in front of us.
We don't know it's a snake. It could be.
Or the beastie thing.
But the beastie thing, it has a sort of a central mass and sort of leggy things to the sides. So if I put my trap down and we attract it in some way, shape or form, it comes towards us and it gets snapped on by the trap. It then can't move and we can chop it to pieces or whatever.
How big are your traps?
It's a bear trap.
How big are they?
You would see this thing to be quite small, tiny.
Okay, so Killian,
about the size of what you would out of character, about the size of a shoebox maybe.
okay, so the size of a bear trap.
A bear trap would be like
the size of a hunting trap. Then.
Yes, I mean it's a sort of redonk.
Yeah,
So
I
I'm
like
assuming the arms are about yay long.
Yeah.
They're like metal Venus flytraps.
Yeah.
Yeah, those things. That's
Yeah.
what I'm on about. It's about the size of that. Okay. So it's very long.
Sorry,
I'm
that was my
already
fault.
tired today. So because Killian feels really bad for doing fuck all in the fight against the stony guy because his rolls were shit because somebody lost the dice tray. I'm not gonna.
No, she's bitter about it. No.
No, not at all. Not at all. I suggest that I stealthily go ahead in the tunnel and I will be bait to try and lure this thing over, but I will like either dodge the trap or jump over it or something. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to like weave my way down the tunnel anyway, so then when it gets to the trap, it doesn't look dodgy. You know what I mean? Like I'm suddenly weaving out the way of something that's in the path. I'm just going to like, yeah. So going up to the creature, I want to be stealthy.
Okay.
And then I'm going to
Say though, Ariel might be better at that because she can see in the dark. If you're walking around with a big light source, it sort of is a big light source.
Maybe I don't want to be babe.
But I'm not saying I'm going to use the light source. I'm going to go up in the dark.
Yeah, but Sarah was saying to make the bait more obvious to be visible, I think.
Well, what I can do is I can go up in the dark when I see the creature, suddenly light a torch. Because I've got torches and I've got a tinderbox and I've got flame things.
You also don't have dark vision.
But I'll be able to hear it.
You'll be able to hear it. You said when you see it.
Okay. When I hear it, if I can't see it, if there's no light wherever it is, then I will light the torch when I know that it's right there. And then I will run. And run. And run. And run.
Okay. So how many feet up this tunnel are you going to go before Jack starts setting a trap?
Well, I was going to put the trap down here.
Okay. Yeah. You're going to
right.
back off from it?
Tie it to the wall, and I was just going to stand the other side of it. I was going to go through my sort of rations and pull out something that sort of smelt nice and tasty.
I'm going to stand out the way of the trap, and I'm going to make sure Charles stands out the way of the trap.
And I will pull out my glaive, so if I stand 10 foot away, anything that's in the trap I can hit, as it has reach.
So can I do that one?
You're going the other side stealthily, right?
Yeah.
So you, Charlie's standing there with his torch.
Yeah.
You extinguish yours.
Yeah.
And start walking.
Yeah.
Along this straight tunnel
Really quietly.
in the darkness. Can I have a stealth check?
Yes. This is a stupid idea. Oh, okay. 18.
18. Okay, cool. Okay.
Please say you did bad. Please say you did bad.
Okay. So make a perception check as you walk into the darkness.
Disadvantage?
Disadvantage because you're in darkness.
So
you hear the scuttling some way off in front of you.
yeah. Oh no, if it's spiders.
No, you hear that tick 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 tick
Yeah.
tick, 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 that thing.
Yeah.
Then it stops. You don't hear it. And you stand in the darkness.
Does it know that?
for a few seconds.
Then what? Let me guess, it attachment.
Yep. It can do stealth too.
You can probably see
Okay.
in the dark.
Does a 20 hit?
No.
No.
Where paralyzing poison, and that's the last we ever see.
Does take 7? Um,
7 what damage? What is it? Is it poison damage? Is it grappling damage?
just piercing damage.
Yes.
And wrapping around your feet are a set of slimy tentacles that wrap about you and pull up from underneath your feet. Out through the ground come these tentacles with little claws piercing you that trap you, and then it wraps around your body, and this creature is now attached to your body. It can do another attack, another 5, and a miss.
How do you know? What was the other one?
6, 16. Another, it was a 20 again. And you basically got this little thing on you.
Okay, so what does that mean? Am I restricted?
No, it's attached to you.
I'd get your torch if I was you and try and set fire to it.
You are, yeah. There's you can't really see it very much because you're still in darkness, but you've got this thing kind of wrapped around, little piercing things come into your body.
How far away did like sort of Killian get out of 60-foot dark?
It was one movement, so he's about 30 feet.
So can we see this?
You would probably see it in the darkness, yeah.
So what can we see?
You would see it. Charlie wouldn't see it because his flame wouldn't reach that far. Your dark visions are 60 feet, is it?
Yeah. So what can we see?
Yeah, but our torch is like 30 foot.
Yeah, Charlie would have backed off though. Charlie would have kind of gone
Yeah, when you laid
Jack.
this trap, Charlie backed off of it because Sarah made him.
I could have dragged out the torches, the lamps, because I bought a lantern and stuff. Oh, it's 20 foot light and then dim light for another 20 foot.
Yeah. So he would not really.
What can I see?
You see this thing burst out of the ground around Killian. You see Killian vanish off, and then as he leaves your light source, sort of start walking a bit more cautiously. Stop. Look round, and then the floor erupt around his feet, and this thing shoot up through the ground and wrap itself around Killian's body.
Is it like is it a bit like the thing in Alien?
No, it imagine.
Are you on about a face hugger?
What?
Yeah, a face hugger from Alien is what you're thinking of.
Yeah.
I was just going to start having a conversation with Serial about how we have these creatures at home that sort of do wrap around their head and then sort of something bursts out of your chest a couple of days later.
Imagine this kind of looks like imagine a woodlouse without legs, but the bottom is all tentacle.
No, you had to use that as a reference, didn't you? Oh, that is weird.
That is weird.
That
Ooh.
looks like, oh my god, that looks like that has got the face of a Grindylow.
A Pokemon.
From what?
It looks like an evil Pokemon.
No, it's got the face
Does-
of a Grindylow, though, but then like this bit of it, it's more like a crab.
Mhm.
Very
Okay,
weird.
so yeah, what you can all roll for initiative now. You were surprised.
Oh, so I don't get an attack on it.
No, not in this round. You get it wherever you fall in initiative.
We all roll initiative, did you say?
I would like you to, yes.
How about an 18?
Okay, hold on.
I rolled a 3, so I got 4.
Wow, that was good.
Jack special. Right, and can we have a break before we?
I got a 4.
Okay,
God.
so
2 and 2.
What cereal's Dex?
what's your dexterity? Well, what's your
My dex, my normal dex is 14.
Mine's only 13, so you get to go before me on 4.
cereal?
You're 4-1 and I'm 4-2.
Dex. What does it roll? 17, 20.
Shit. I thought my roll was really good then.
Bug. I call it just bug.
Good.
What did Charlie get?
I haven't rolled, Charlie. I've got that on the little computer here.
You know Charlie knows the light cantrip, right?
Yeah.
I mean, he's gonna use it.
No, as in he doesn't need a torch. He just goes ping and there's a light there.
Yeah, but don't mean he's gonna use it.
Right. Okay.
Charlie's also a bit dim.
We'll have a little bit of a break, shall we? And come back. Right. So, natural 1, 20 again, and 16.
What are you rolling for? What's
Is
rolling?
that all for me?
Billion.
Why did he get 3 attacks? What the
Because
fuck?
he is a multi-attack.
Right, so go on then.
10
Is that it?
10 damage. Yeah.
Okay. Done.
Yes, it's your go. Now you can try and get the creature off of you.
Right.
You can make a strength check as your action, or you can try and attack it while it's on you.
Okay. What's the likelihood of it actually working? Like the
How
attack?
strong you're feeling?
That's what I'm asking. The attack. What way am I going? My brain.
Somebody make her more coffee. She needs more coffee.
No, I don't. I've got to get up at 5 in the morning. I don't need
Why have we got to get up at 5?
because I've got to go and look after my friend's little one again.
Mm.
Have you got a spell that's touch?
No.
Have you got?
Oh, a spell would be a good idea.
like
That'd
a
zap it
spell
off.
that makes it do some sort of saving throw, then you don't have to try and hit it.
Apart from brass weapon, no.
I'm trying to remember what spells I've got.
So I try and just strength, or so I try and get it with my temper.
You can try and cut it off you. I think it's got a plate over the top of it. It's quite small, remember. You can multi-attack because you're in melee, so you could get 2 attacks.
You've got your mind sliver. That's a saving throw. Frostbite's a saving throw. Hellish Rebuke's a saving throw. You could have done that as a reaction because it keeps biting you.
I'd let you make a hellish rebuke because you've just done it. It's only just hit you. And you've got a spell slot to do it. As a reaction.
Yeah, but if it's momentarily surrounded by hellish flames, that's me surrounded by hellish flames.
Yeah, but it's only the thing itself. It's a targeted thing. It's
Okay.
not got a
Yeah, so there you go. You've got to make a
dex.
14.
14.
Yeah, okay.
which I
Or
think it's okay.
It did.
Yeah.
But it takes half damage, I think.
A half damage is a successful one, yeah.
Yeah, so it still takes 2d10 halved. Well, you can do that and then you can do your action as well. So that's 4.
Oh,
So 5 damage, yeah, okay.
Does that get it? Take it off her?
No.
Right.
Now you've got your choice to do a spell, or you can do a something to try and kill it, get it off you. Now you've got your regular action. Now it's like you can do that outside your turn of reaction.
okay, so I can now do my
Whatever you want to do, yeah. So you multi attack, so you can +6 attack per hit with your daggers. So you can do 1 slash, 2 slash. Plus
18.
yeah. You dare ya?
The other one was 20.
No.
It's still attached to her.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
She's just hacking at this thing and trying to get it off. 1 damage, okay.
4 damage.
You don't get your plus because it was your offhand.
Okay, whatever. Really don't be on camera right now. I'm that tired.
Okay. So yeah, you see this thing burst out from the ground. It is Charles Irwin's go. He's gonna see that happen. And he's
Just so you know, I kind of need healing.
okay.
I've got 5 health points.
Charles has got no spell slots, I don't think,
Right. Great.
because Charles tried to kill everything in the rock guys.
It's all right. I'll cure you.
Yeah, Charles is pretty. Oh, what's going on there? I'm in the wrong character. That's what I'm doing because my laptop shut down. So Charles is going to move up to the end of his standard movement. So he's probably going to be about 5 feet away because he backed off a bit. So 10 feet away because he backed off. And he's going to see this thing on kills, and he gonna when it loads. He is going to do some sort of magics on it. If my laptop stops doing weird stuff. He is going to toll the dead. Doesn't make it. It takes 2d8. What's that?
2d12s even. It's damage, so it takes d12s.
Oh, you take d12, so if it's had damage already done to it?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it does. Yes. 2 d12s for this thing. 10, 17. It's not looking very well.
Killian.
It is now Serial's go.
Killian, I'm going to cure you, darling.
So, yeah. Well,
You are cured by 13.
You're going to run up to her.
Yeah.
Run up to him.
Yeah. So, is that lay on hands?
Yeah,
Yeah, touch one.
Yeah, and you had spell slot left for that, did you?
I did indeed.
Cool. Yeah, brilliant. So Jax, it's your go.
So how wide is this tunnel?
The tunnel is probably 2 abreast, so maybe 10 foot wide.
So I can get closer. So
Mm-hmm.
So I will move up, remembering to step over the trap in front of me.
Yeah.
And I'm probably going to stop next to Charles because he stopped 10 foot away, because I have a great big sort of honking sword blade on a stick.
Yeah.
And I'm going to attempt to sort of slice it off.
Go for it. Please do. This is like surgery at 10 foot.
I'm genuinely concerned now.
You didn't need that leg, did you, Kill?
Don't get a natural one, or there would be shit.
There was a 1 in it, but then there was another 1 in it, so I hit an armor class 18.
Yeah, you're there.
Thank you.
And I do 13 points of slashing damage.
How would you like to end it?
It's going to be a sort of a slide down the sort of edge of Killian's leg, and then sort of flick it out sideways to sort of basically splat it on the wall on the sort of side, you know.
Well, I like that.
It kind of goes. There's this kind of sound of of breaking chitin as it hits the wall, and then slides down. You have these pincer marks on you, and this kind of strange smell of death about you, like the smell of a rotting corpse.
Meh.
Lingering about your
Killian
frame.
hasn't had a shower or anything since that bath that he had the first night, because those people were touching him and he didn't like it. So he's probably stinking.
I don't know how much a dragonborn can physically sweat.
But they're going to smell like the weird dry snaky smell thing.
Yeah, like a snake tank smell. They smell weird.
Exactly.
A bit weird, snakes. A bit weird.
He's got no problem with natural shit. He's fine with like natural animals and stuff. He's quite happy in the woods and things.
So yeah, splat against the wall. Goes quiet.
I'm gonna.
Actually, no. Make a perception check. Sorry, Killian, you are tuned in. One moment, so.
I don't know shit.
No, nothing. The tunnels are quiet again for a minute.
Fine. I'm gonna go back and unset my trap and flip it back to me pack.
All right, but you know which direction the wind was coming from. That's sort of straight ahead where you were going.
Yeah, so I just carry on.
Okay.
We carry on following you.
You hear from behind you more the same sound again now, everybody.
Oh.
What? How big was it? So a Roomba size.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can I
It's a death
do
Roomba.
a spell to sort of?
It's a corpse Roomba, basically. There is more scuttling, and if you were to glance back over your shoulder, you would see out of each of the many tombs, 1 or 2 of these things start dropping out.
Are we still in the ice, or are we now actually back in rock?
You were under rock as soon as you got to the room with the gate of Duh.
I would like to do flame arrows to basically set fire to the fuckers.
You believe that might block their course of action above ground, but that's not how they travel to get killed.
Oh, they came under now, didn't they?
Can we run?
Yeah, you can run.
Just run.
I'm just gonna sit there and I'm gonna sort of lean my glaive against the wall, and then I'm gonna unhook the maul and behind us, I am just literally just going to sort of hammer down on the ground in case, you know, if they're buggy things and they go digging through dirt, then they kind of work on vibration-y stuff. And I'm going to make it really, really fucking loud for them. And I'm going to
I thought you were going to do that, like basher mole things. You know, they start popping up and you just like bang them, pop up again, you bang them.
That may happen as well. But basically, I'm kind of, if you're hearing vibration and then there is a huge impact or 5 right in front of you, it's probably going to deafen you or scare you or whatever.
Okay. Let's have a. Oh, okay. Interesting idea. I don't know quite how to run it. So you would make a. I guess you're going to make a strength check to see how hard you're hitting the ground.
Okay. Just a straight up strength roll?
Straight up strength. So kind of, you're not really targeting the ground because you can hit ground quite easy.
Yeah. So, okay. So just.
It's not going to be against an AC. Or you can make an attack roll, I guess. You could roll it as your attack roll if it's got a better plus, but it's the.
Yeah.
With the weapon plus, yeah. Proficiency, of course.
23.
Okay. You're making a great noise under the ground.
Yeah, I mean, it's more. I'm kind of hoping that it's going to deter them, and sort of, you know, it's like if a person walks in a cockroaches, they'll run under the covers. You know, they'll run under the sort of surfaces.
They seem to be drawn to the thumping.
Uh,
As you peer back.
Okay. Can you sort of see the sort of the little underground tunneling or not? Or...
Where they haven't dug yet.
Okay, they're actually coming on the surface.
Yeah, you can see them kind of dropping out of the bays, kind of scuttling.
And how many of these things?
I would like to do a thunder wave, please.
No, you don't know space. Because that will hit you and your friends.
Oh.
And blast your friends whichever way down this tunnel.
If I send it, I can't directional send it, so
No,
they're
it
behind
goes
me.
woof, like that.
Oh.
When you cast Thunder Wave. At the moment, you see 7 of these things.
Can I flame arrow at them?
So what you do is you cast flame arrow on your quiver, and then you use your bow and arrows, which are now flaming arrows, to shoot.
Yeah, can I do that?
Several actions. Yeah.
Cool. So you make an action. You can cast your spell. Okay. Kills. What do you want to do? You were saying run. Are you starting running?
Not if those guys aren't running. I'm suggesting running to everybody, but nobody else responded. So,
Okay.
I don't know, because I respond to the vibrations.
Mm-hmm.
They're drawn to vibrations.
Mm-hmm.
Can they climb up?
They've managed to get into these things that are somehow like your chest height and stuff. So they're like they move like a woodlouse moves, but with tentacles.
Stop saying that word. Okay. So I was thinking, would we be able to? Because we still got the ice picking shoe type things, haven't we? Well, those guys have anyway. I just use my claws. So I was thinking, would I be able to like scale the wall and like hang from the ceiling and go along the ceiling? But if they're drawn to vibrations, yes, I can combine that.
We can't hear you again, Bean.
She's kind of working stuff through.
Yeah, sorry.
She's talking out loud to herself, basically.
Yeah, as always.
Well, we either sit and fight these things, or we all leg it. I mean, how fast do they seem to move?
You reckon they move? Killian, you would reckon they would move 30 foot underground.
So
You reckon they move the same overground?
Quick DM question. DM, shouldn't I have a spell and an action as my move? Or is it just
casting a spell is an action?
If you cast a spell, that would be one action.
Right.
And you could use your bonus action, you could use your reaction, and you could move if you wanted to. But you cast your spell, so now giving Killian a chance to make a thing, not in initiative right now because they're still sort of approaching. You killed the one that was coming, but you think you're about to be in a fight with these other things.
Yeah.
But like, nah, I don't want to bother.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to turn around and run.
Okay, so you
But
can
then
do that.
I don't want to leave those guys.
It's up to you.
You can run, we'll fight.
You shout. You can. It's your guy. It's your choice. You can use breath weapon.
To try and freeze them.
Yeah, go for it.
Freeze them in there. Yeah,
Okay.
I'm thinking of Sarah's using fire.
There are two different effects on two different attacks. So you can go hot, cold, hot, cold. It's up to you. Is it a cone? It's a cone with breath weapon, isn't it? Or is it a line with that one? I can't remember.
It's okay.
Cool. What do I have to succeed? Of
Comes in. Just roll.
9. Okay.
That's the 11.
Okay. What do they take?
8.
Okay. Yeah. All right. This searing cold thing shoots across the corridor. Gonna give Charlie is really struggling for anything to do because he used it all fighting the Caleb Duh. He is going to on one of them told the dead before they get up. It fails. 2d12. Okay. 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 Jax, let's have you.
We're next to an alcove with a body in it, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to pick up the body and throw it down the corridor at him.
Okay. Yeah, the body is quite light, lands on the floor.
Yeah, I mean, basically, I'm trying to distract them with something they're going to see as food.
They crawl onto the body. They are distracted. They are on this thing, tearing it apart, gnawing at this.
Now can we turn and run?
Yeah, or if you got any area effecty stuff, you can zap them all while they're on there. But I will pick up my glaive and get ready to leave.
Away.
I'm going to shoot with my arrow, so I'm going to stay within range.
Okay.
But it's a longbow. The range is like 600 foot.
Okay. Yeah, I can be breach loads.
make a ranged attack, please. So, like you're firing with your longbow, please.
Mm-hmm. No. Seven.
Doesn't hit.
No.
But it does hit the. It lands near the corpse.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a flaming arrow.
Yeah.
And there is a death shroud around this corpse. It catches.
So now we've got a flaming body on the floor as like a
What about if they're on top?
distraction or a barrier for them to stop getting towards us?
So it starts burning. It's and okay. They squeal and retreat from this burning thing on the floor.
Okay, are we leaving them?
Can't they
We get round them.
We're going on past. Aren't they coming from behind us?
They're coming up behind you.
Oh yeah, so we basically they're not coming after us now, so we can carry on while we're
They're
going.
screaming. They're moving around. You can't really tell what direction they've leapt off this corpse that had previously distracted them.
Okay.
But now it's on fire. They don't apparently like freshly flaming food.
I'm gonna actually throw one of our oil flasks at them, at the flaming thing, to sort of give it extra.
Oh yeah, go for it. Let's have another go at that.
That's a good idea.
I will use one of them. Is that just a basic attack roll, or
I'd say you're gonna make a range, aren't you? So using your dex modifier.
does that count as proficient or not?
You're probably pretty proficient. It's only a small flask, aren't you? So officially no proficiency.
So
It's not something you've got to really learn.
How to throw a flask of oil.
11. So,
Okay,
hopefully just enough to like hit the floor with a flask.
Yeah. It hits the floor. The oil spreads out. There is now a wall of flame between you and the creatures.
Yay.
Okay, let's get out of here.
Yeah, we can run now, Killian.
I agree wholeheartedly.
Can I just have a quick look at the name of whoever I threw at them?
Yeah, make a perception check. See if you can, or an investigation, whichever you want to do.
I rolled a 19, so 20.
You see that there's a name on it, and it is what was the name? I had a name prepared. Hold on. Gamble. J. Gamble.
What does that name ring a bell?
I don't know. Yeah, let's carry on up. I'm going to take the rear position, and I'm going to be holding the glaive, so I've got reach if things sort of come in. Sort of thing.
Charles is going to, as he's walking, he's going to cast. He's going to take out his. He's going to have his war pick. No, he's going to have his dagger in one hand. And he's going to cast light on it. In the other hand, he's going to have the torch, the flaming torch that he was given. So he's going to light in the way, and then he's kind of walking around with the flame, like kind of lighting.
So if there's anything else that's going to climb out of the floor, it's going to be sort of scorched
like at the floor level, but kind of casting light for kills, so you can see properly.
Okay.
And you proceed along the corridor. Kills. You still feel the wind coming from that direction.
Carry on walking in that direction.
Eventually, you find that there is a sort of manhole type thing above your head, like a griddle, a grate.
Is there any way to get up to it?
There appears to be a ladder.
I'll stay below the ladder.
Oh, make an investigation check. I wouldn't get you with a sneaky deck save, would
Yes, you would.
I like you. You're investigating it. Jax would have been like, "How stable is the ladder?" Yeah, that'll stay there.
A natural one. You think this ladder's perfectly safe.
I'm not that I don't trust you, Killian, but I think I might have to have a look at it before we go up because I'm not convinced.
No, you can't.
Can I not do a perception rather than investigation?
No, I got the ladder.
The ladder's fine. It is absolutely fine.
I just know what you're like. You're so sneaky.
The ladder is actually
It's all I
okay.
was like, nah.
You reach the hatch at the top.
Is there a way to open it?
It's a square panel of metal.
Okay, can I just push it?
Give it a strength.
Mm,
Straight up strength. Front page.
right now, I've got that. I've actually just did that. Oh,
3.
6.
It doesn't move when you push it.
Can I pull out a crowbar and pass it up?
Yeah.
I reached
You
down
can
and
do it
grabbed
with advantage then. I'll let you do it with advantage. So roll again on the strength check. Natural 20 with the advantage. Yay.
Thank you.
So yeah, with the crowbars easing. Opens up.
Okay, so I climb through and then I bend down and help Sarah climb through.
Mm-hmm.
And then is Charles in the middle then?
Charles is in the middle. Yeah.
Right. I get Charles to hand me the torch. So then he can then climb up without burning the bleeding ladder down because I'm assuming the ladder is like rope and.
No, metallic.
Oh, okay, cool.
Because we've only set fire to the bottom of one ladder that we were at the bottom of before.
Yeah, I don't trust Charles with fire. Don't know what it is, but I don't trust Charles with fire.
Okay.
So
Charles
I
pops
took
his
the
head
ladder
up like a chick coming out of an egg into this room, and then the rest of his body kind of follows.
And then Jax, I don't even bother because I know he can get it. Then no problem.
Looking around this room, you are in a basement. Just old crates empty. Rat droppings along the floor.
Do the crates have anything on them that could show us what was inside it? That's what I was trying to say.
No, they look like the kind of little crates that you would have might carry fruit and vegetables in.
Say that again?
You might carry fruit and vegetables in.
Fruit and vegetables in.
Fruit and vegetables in.
Fruit and vegetables in. That's funny. Oh, say that again.
Just a thing that you carry vegetables in, all right?
It's a vegetable crate.
Boxes. We're talking banana boxes here. Come on.
Okay.
You've got a crowbar if you want to
Some
open.
smashed up, some made of wood.
Can I pick one up and put it on Charlie's head like a hat?
Charles says, I don't see how this will help.
And I just pass it and go.
Say so.
Can I get the metal lid and like put it back in its slot?
It fits perfectly. Yeah.
Is there any kind of way to sort of bar it? Is there any sort of loop or anything that you could sort of put a peg through?
Not apparent.
How heavy are these crates?
They're quite light to lift, easy to lift up, but you think a couple of them might be. If you could put,
I look like
they would. If you put something in them, they would sufficiently cover the space that the hole makes.
Okay, is there anything in this room that we can put in the crates to put over the manhole cover?
Make an investigation check.
Are there any doors out of this room?
Yeah.
Just checking before we block ourselves into
a random basement. There's specific
I didn't even think about that, and I was like, oh no.
A specific basement just for feeding carrion bugs. Another natural 20. Yeah, there are.
Oh my
There
God.
are some loose bricks.
I told you it's because you
No.
lost the dice tray. How many is that I've had this week? Last
3.
week, I was lucky if I even got like above a 10.
And it's the same
Yeah,
guy.
but that was welcome to my world, because that's how I roll normally.
That was like,
I need to make you one of these then, don't I?
yeah, so you find that there
You
are
need
a couple
one.
of loose like
Bricks.
blocks of the wall.
Okay, so I gotta point them out to Jax because I can see what Jax is thinking. If you know what I mean, he's kind of like.
He's shut it and he's kind of got his hand on it, looking round.
No.
So you're the one who sees the thing.
If there wasn't a peg, I'm all for leaving because yeah, I'm going to go and try the door on the way out.
I am going to take the
What's
crowbar
Kil's
off
doing?
Killian and go. If you're not going to use it, I am. I'm going to force open one of the crates.
What's that? Sorry, Kil.
I'm going to take the crowbar off Killian and say, if you're not going to use it, I am. And I'm going to force open one of the crates.
No, the crates are not sealed. The crates are all empty. They're like banana boxes. Like
They're wooden banana boxes.
Oh, they've not got anything in them.
No, there's nothing in them.
Oh, I thought they were. I thought they were full of fruit and veg. I was going to get supplies.
No, they're like what you would carry fruit and vegetables in, empty boxes.
Oh, no point with crowbar in them.
No, so Killing. You see these loose bricks?
Okay, I'll put the crates onto the square cover thing, and then I'll put the loose bricks in.
You believe this weighs this down?
And I'll do it on a couple of them so that it's got a fair bit of weight.
Yes, fine. Jax,
I'm just going to open the door.
there is a set of stairs that leads up to the door.
Stealth, 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 stealth.
Not going to bother with that.
It's
Come on, upstairs and open the door.
Dump. Jax, you open a door, and it is into a largely abandoned space. It's wooden floored building with quite high walls, large warehouse you would maybe describe this as, but
mostly empty.
Sorry?
Mostly empty.
Yeah, disused, you would say.
Okay. I think we're all right to get out into the city because, like, I've had enough of tonight. And yeah, I'm gonna guess there's big warehousey gates, so I'm gonna head over towards them.
There are some large gates at the end of this space. And the party follow you, I'm guessing. You following up, Serial? Cool. You come to some gate doors, or kind of what remains of doors. They're barely held together with a loose chain. You can see some rather crude graffiti, where someone has obviously slipped inside. These aren't holding very much out. They're more of a sort of just like a function of the building to have doors that are shut with a lock rather than them actually being a security measure.
Okay, well, hopefully. So, who's got my crowbar?
Oh, I do. I've still got it.
So I'm going to basically put it in the chain and sort of twiddle it and try and break the chain.
Yeah, quick strength check then on that one.
Do I get advantage for a crowbar?
Yeah.
21.
And the doors come open.
Yeah.
And you are you're in the town of Southgate, basically.
Okay.
You can find your way to wherever you wish to go.
I'm going back to the castle. I don't know where anyone else wants to go.
GM, I'm going to have to wrap things up soon because I'm really tired. And I'm
Okay. We're nearly there anyway.
Okay.
So you make your way to the gates. Are you all following behind everybody?
Yep.
I'm like walking behind, like dragging my knuckles.
You make your way to the gates, and as you're looking up, you see a small figure standing on the bridge that spans the two towers. And you see that you hear an exclamation. You can't quite hear what the exclamation is at this point. And you see them charge to the tower that leads to the kitchens and the rooms. And as you're proceeding across the courtyard, Fulf is there with you. And he comes charging out the building and says, what? What's happening? What went on?
We'll tell you in the morning. It's been a long night.
And he says, of course, you look like several of the 9 hells.
Well, yeah, there are rock things guarding your basement that no one seemed to want to tell us about, and like they took offense at us being there.
I had no idea.
Well, there were, I'll say that there were rock things guarding your basement.
They're gone now.
He's like, rock things. Look, you must rest. You must rest. And he ushers you very quickly. And like you can see that he's like trying to hold back, but you can see from the look on Killian and Jax's and Charlie's face. Charlie's magically exhausted, like, and Serial the same. Like you can see that the energies are sapped. Your bodies are sort of weak after you're covered in cobwebs and bits of like old shroud, and there's rubble in everybody's hair. And he guides you up to the rooms where you promptly all climb into these lushly appointed beds. I imagine still in your stinking, filthy clothes, and don't bother to undress. And you fall into a deep and restful, dreamless, unlike the dog in the corner, sleep. So will everybody please mark on your sheet a long rest and heal yourselves up?
Yes. Yeah.
And that's where we'll end the session for today.